What's going on, world? Your man Vince Chang, aka The Energy, and you're watching episode 2 of the 10-minute sprint when it comes to FIBA 3x3. The World Tour is on and popping, and we're almost done trying to get to that final. The Under-18 World Cup has the future of 3x3 playing, and they really showed out. The Europe Cup, you already know who took home that bag, one of the top teams in the world. And also the Nations League of 2023 definitely showed the talent of 3x3 to another level, and the women's series is now done because we finally have our finalists that was played in Ulaanbaatar. All that and more on the 10-minute sprint that's going to start right now. Now, as I said, the World Tour is underway. The last stop was Macau, but we still had a lot more stops to go through. We still got Edmonton, Prague, Lausanne, Debrecen, and Consta. And I'm telling you, it was a domination when it comes to one team. It's still winning. They're still getting better. 5 times in a row started out in Edmonton, where I got to see myself, Straina Stojicic, aka Dr. Strange, taking home another MVP after commanding victory over San Juan with Marko Branovic, Dejan Majstorovic, and Yu Chung Liu. Yo, they can ball. But I have to admit, San Juan has proved that they're the dark horse of FIBA 3x3 with Antonio Ralat, Luis Perez, Leandre Allende, and Adrian Ocasio. I'm telling you, they had you on the edge of your seat with another potential spot when it came to Washington, D.C., which is equipped with some dope familiar faces like Khalil Iverson, Keaton Wallace, and some new G Leaguers with Charlie Brown Jr. and Tajay Moore. Now, Tajay Moore definitely had the dunk of the tournament, maybe the dunk of the year, but he was catching more bodies than the equalizer. But San Juan came out on top by going to the finals with Antonio Ralat with a deadly Maurice Lacroix buzzer beater, knocking it down behind the two. Proud of you, y'all. Now, again, racked up another 40K and another edition of the World Tour and the Masters in Prague. That is 6 times winning streak. Now, things changed for the juggernaut when they went to Lausanne, in which Antwerp top decks with Brian De Volk, Dennis Donker, Vic van Osewijk, and MVP Jonas Forts, which had 3 game winners throughout the whole tournament, definitely took home the 40K in Switzerland, winning their 2nd ever World Tour Masters in the Olympic capital, defeating the hometown heroes, Lausanne, in a nail-biter. Look, I know Captain West, King West, was definitely mad by taking off that crown, but it was a tournament definitely to watch. So you got to go back to FIBA 3x3 on YouTube and watch them replays. And we're still traveling. Now we're going all the way to Debrecen and Hungary. You know what that is. I think I do. But anyway, where we saw Randuvaris Hoptrans winning again, having a dope time, and giving props to the players of Paulos Velaficius, Sarunas Vigelis, Marichus Usupis, and also a deep contested 2 from the Uzi and let it rip and hit his target. Yo, I give it up to Mr. Usupis. Like, this dude is dope. But then the MVP, Julius Bukelis, picking up one of the refs at Edmund Hole, as you see, when they're playing against Tel Aviv, which I gotta give credit to Tel Aviv as well. Israel team is pretty good. They finished their best in this tournament, and it was 2nd, but they almost won. But I'm telling you, Randuvaris was showing out how strong they really are when it comes to the World Tour. Now, we are teleporting instant transmission right to Consta, in which Hangzhou won their 1st ever Masters with Dusan Samagic, Milos Supika, Goran Vidovic, and also first-time MVP Vladimir Trakovic. Yo, they were balling, absolutely destroying Hogarica Cardio. I mean, I've never really seen this team play, but they were definitely doing things that I didn't think they could do. But this tournament was definitely theirs, and congratulations taking home that bag. So 9 World Tour Masters already happened, and we're entering basically into the 2nd half of the season. We still got Cebu, Amsterdam, Shanghai, Chengdu, Abu Dhabi, Wuxing, Miami, Hong Kong, Jeddah, which the finals is going to be held, and we're going to find out who is the top dog in the World Tour. Stay tuned to FIBA 3x3 on all social media when it comes to YouTube, Instagram, and especially FIBA3x3.com to find out which team is going to take it home. The Under-18 World Cup went underway in FIBA 3x3, and it shows the stars of tomorrow are ready to shine bright. They played in Debrecen, Hungary. Again, we showed that we know where it is. look it on the map. But anyway, once you find it, it's dope. And here's the thing, they played from August 3rd to September 3rd. And let's talk about the men first. The German men took home their first ever FIBA 3x3 Under-18 World Cup gold medal after coming away with a nail-biter 20-18 victory against France. Shout out to the Germans with Simon Fennenberg, Tebe Muller, Sebastian Schwarzhofer, and also MVP Fabian Gisman. And this let you know, France took home the silver, but then also Slovenia took home the bronze. And congratulations to my queen of the US of A. The USA women's won a record 7 title in their 5th consecutive gold in just 10 iterations of the FIBA 3x3 Under-18 World Cup, as they came back strong from a 4-point deficit to win 22-16 against France. Now, France took home that silver, but shout out to the women from USA, which they had Katie Fuse, Sarah Strong, Sahara Williams, and now 3-time 3x3 Under-18 world champion and also MVP Michaela Williams. All props to y'all. Do take home that cup. And also, shout out to Japan coming in 3rd overall, because you all know one of my favorite players was Mai Yamamoto, and this lady killed it in the Olympic qualifiers. And now there's someone else coming home for that throne, because the generation of the next is definitely going to be on top when I see him in the next iteration when it comes to the FIBA 3x3 World Cup. Now, you got to talk about the Euro Cup when it comes to FIBA 3x3 that happened on September 5th, September 7th in Jerusalem. And that's where the promised land. And this man could be someone of the Messiah, because he can walk on water, but definitely take home some titles, because Serbia won their 5th overall consecutive Euro Cup title with Strajan Stojicic, aka Dr. Strange, as the MVP. Lithuania won the silver, and Latvia took out France and took home the bronze, led by the one and only Klaus Lasmanis, aka Batman, aka KLN. Now, when it comes to the women's of the FIBA 3x3 Euro Cup, Netherlands won their first ever gold in women's basketball, defeating the 2021 champs Spain. Then Lithuania took out Portugal for the bronze. Netherlands gold, you got Spain silver, and Lithuania bronze. And I got to give it to the Orange Lioness herself, Marija Teresen, taking home the MVP. I salute you, Orange Lions. You guys are doing work. You make the Dutch proud. Now, again, the women's series did break a record this year by having over 23 events, crushing the previous record of 15 that was held in 2019. Now we got over $1 million of prize money up for grabs, and the road all the way led to Ulaanbaatar, in which the top 8 teams were competing for that final. Now the winner would take home $40K USD for the first time ever, with over $220,000 up for grabs. Now this is just for the final. Congratulations, ladies. Y'all are moving up. Now, that road was not easy. In episode 1 of the 10-minute sprint, we talked about the first 10 stops, but now let's sprint the next 13. All right, now in Pristina, USA took out France in the finals, in which they had a solid squad, including Ciara Burdick, Blake Dietrich, aka Julie Roberts, I see you, girl, Caroline Littlefield, and Camille Zimmerman, with the MVP, none other than Ciara Burdick. And then Parlez-vous Français were in Bordeaux, and France had their A team when it comes to Miriam Jekundande, Hortense Lemonzeau, Marie Epaget, and Laetitia Guapo, in which they seek revenge in their own backyard against China's Lili Wang and GT Shan, which they couldn't hold and do their own thing. And guess who got MVP? The one and only Laetitia Guapo. Shout out to you, girl. Oh, Canada. I got to personally go to Edmonton, Canada, and be part of this amazing women's series, in which I had, 1, an amazing time, and 2, got to see the hometown heroes take their first place right. Okay, the twins of the North, Kath and Michelle Brook, were showing off their freaky twin thing, and of course the shifty guard Casey Bosch with the sharpshooter Paige Corzone, going all out on a tough Chinese team. And who got the MVP? None other than Michelle Plouffe. I salute you. Now, Yingqing is almost in the heart of China if you look on the map. And of course, you guessed it, China went back home to reclaim their throne, all right? And that flight was about like an hour or 2. But anyway, we'll talk about this in a little bit. But anyway, China taking out Australia with Yu Qingchen, Kung Huang, Shi Tingjiang, and of course, Lili Wang, which again, this woman is balling, okay? She also took home the MVP. So when they went home, they just went right back to where they came from. And it was like, yo, we won. So let's go out tonight. Congratulations to y'all. And now we get on a plane, flying to Prague. Once again, like we did with the men's series, but the women's series was even more impactful. Canada came out on top against France with the Plouffe sisters definitely doing their thing, Casey Bosch, and now a newcomer to the Canadian squad, Jamie Scott. And guess what? This is 2 times in a row Michelle Plouffe takes home the MVP, and she had a monstrous game when it comes to 46 points all through the tournament and 15 points coming from just the final game against France. Now we're going to visit Katowice in Poland for the first time, which I love the saying of that, Katowice. I may name my daughter that. That's cool. But anyway, the USA, Sierra Burdick, Lene Harper, Caroline Littlefield, and Camille Zimmerman fought hard to take home the bag against a tough Lithuanian squad. With another MVP going to the one and only queen, Sierra Burdick. Let me see you 1, 2 step. I was having some fun. Now, history was made in Melilla, and this was in Morocco. Now, that's in Africa, but also it's across the sea or pond to Spain, which it's insane. I'm learning so much about geography when it comes to FIBA 3x3. Thank you very much. But this new team to the circuit, Neftchi, probably had one of the hardest routes to the chip that I've ever seen. They're like a number 16 seed that goes to the NCAA tournament. They had Erika Carter, all right, Brianna Fraser, Alexander Muller, and also Dina Yulanova. And they were taking out 3 worthy contenders. I mean, in this tour, in the quarters alone, they had USA. Then they had to battle China in the semis, and then finally coming victorious in a tight game in which Brianna Fraser hits the last layup against Spain. Now, Gracia also took it to OT, but due to a replay, no good. This Azerbaijan team is coming out with all the words, all right? And shout out to Brianna Fraser being the heart of Neftchi, and she was the MVP, leading in scoring and rebounding. Look, 29 points and 29 rebounds as well. This woman can ball. Let's go, baby. I'm gonna see more. Now, we're back in Canada, but we're in Quebec, in which they have amazing maple syrup, delicious poutine, and also, of course, Canada taking it home once again against USA 24, in which Michelle Plouffe knocking down a deep 2 to seal it. Now, Catherine Plouffe was along there as well with Jamie Scott, and Paige Crazone also put the stamp in the game as well. But this was the first time ever I've seen this because they were co-MVP between the Plouffe sisters. That's right, Catherine and Michelle Plouffe did wonders on the court and basically took it home. But I want to know, which home do they take home that MVP? Does it go there, that house? It just goes to Mama Plouffe house. But congratulations to y'all. Traveling to Baku, which again, I thought was in Star Wars. My boy Chris thought, we thought Baku was definitely one of those planets, but guess what? May the force be with you. But it's in Azerbaijan, in which Dusseldorf Zoo came out swinging, winning against Germany in their first ever Women's Series tour. Congratulations to y'all. They had Jenny Crowder, Ayo Katsura, Yuka Amanda, and the MVP, Ama Degbion. I can't love it enough to have a commercial team coming out on top. Keep going. Many more wins for y'all. We're back in Hungary, Debrecen, in which Dusseldorf Zoo tried to go back-to-back, but was stopped by a devastating loss to the new girls in town, Neftchi, who had a command and win 21-10 with the same squad of Erika Carter, Alexander Mayela, Dina Yulanova, and one more. MVP goes to Brianna Fraser, and this is Neftchi's 4th title this year in 2023 when it comes to women's series. Keep going, y'all. Y'all working. Now on to Point de Guard. A point guard. I keep saying point guard. There's a point guard place in France. I didn't know that. But anyway, Point de Guard, in which Neftchi tried to go back-to-back as well, like Dusseldorf tried to do. But the Netherlands took it home for their first ever women's series. The Orange Lions definitely prided themselves with Lois Bentovik, Janice Bonstra, Northreisen, and Kiki Florin, with Janice Bonstra leading the pack with her dominant defense, taking home that MVP. Orange Lions. Now, this is the final stop before the final, and now it's becoming a pattern because, again, we're back in Canada, and Canada once again protects their house with a convincing win again against USA 24 and their 5th over win when it comes to the women's series. The OG Catherine and Michelle Plouffe doing the thing with Paige Crazone and Casey Bosch showing an impressive undefeated run in Montreal with none other as Michelle Plouffe taking home the MVP once again. I'm just telling you, it's the same thing over and over and over. Congratulations. Now, where are we? We at the finals. Where? Ulaanbaatar. When? I forgot. Actually, I remember September 16th and 17th, we had $1 million, in the women's series for prize money to grab. The first time ever, the first place is going to take home $40K in the finals. And the women's series finals of 2023 had Mongolia, SC Uganda, Nefti, Germany, USA, China, and the final between France and Canada. And with ice in her veins, Catherine Proof brings Canada up by 1 with 14.2 seconds left in the game, and then a daggering reverse layup by Hortense Limozon that ties it against Paige Curzon. But then fate would have it, Paige gets her revenge with a reverse buzzer beater against Limozon, and Canada takes it home. And I can announce back-to-back reigning women's series champions, Canada, with the star squad, Casey Bosch, Paige Curzon, Catherine Proof, and the world's #1 women's FIBA 3x3 player and the women's series finals MVP, Michelle Proof, even after being benched from an injury in the final game. Congrats to Canada. Oh, Canada, oh, I love your syrup. You know what I mean. But anyway, congrats to y'all. All right, that's episode 2 of the 10-minute sprint, which your man Vince Chang, aka The Energy, and which the men's World Tour has plenty of FIBA 3x3 left. And also the women's have crowned their finals, and where they hail from, Canada. Tip my hat to you. And also to the future, to all the FIBA 3x3 players when it comes to under 18 and the World Cup and the National Cup, all those different kind of tournaments. This new generation of 3x3 players is going to be monumental. I can't wait to see them grow in their own respectable country and make this game go places that we've never seen before. Now, don't forget to tune in to all games when it comes to FIBA 3x3 and the social media, when it comes to YouTube, even Twitch now, Instagram, and also you can follow us on Twitter. Now, I love y'all. Y'all been great, but this is the episode 2 and there's more to come. So I'll see you later for another 10-minute sprint. It's more like 30 minutes. It's a lot of information.